Good evening, Eagles, on this rainy Thursday. As a good friend once said only a couple hours earlier, we have the JV team from Salesian facing against the JV team from Stepinac. I am your current commentator. You already know who I am. If you don't, that's okay. I'm not national yet. My name is Danny DJ Brito, the man, the myth, the myth. The myth 2 times because I can't believe how real I am.
Keeping in mind the Christian beliefs of all our schools. All players, coaches, and spectators will adhere to the code of conduct as put forth in our bylaws. At this time, the players and coaches of both teams will shake hands as a sign of the importance we place on sportsmanship in today's game.
And with that respectful handshake, as we always do before the game, we get ourselves ready to see a pretty tough Stepinac team going up against our JV Eagles that are just come off a win.
Yeah, we just came off a win earlier. Sadly, we lost to Stepinac. I can't remember exact score, but yeah, we lost. But it's okay. I'm looking to this game in order to not only get our get back on Stepinac in a way, but to also maybe hype up our future games. So some key players you want to look for on the junior varsity team: Elijah McGee, Frank the Tank Tinkin. You want to look for Bogdan, our GOAT. Bogdan's our GOAT. And you want to look for Joseph Staccato. You want to look for these guys, please. Other than that, please watch. Off tip-off goes to Stepinac. To the paint, out of bounds, called on number 3. Elijah grabbing the ball. A nice drive. A floater. And it just drops out.
Unfortunate how that went in and out. It was a great shot by McGee.
Stepinac taking a shot, sinking it from the perimeter. McGee passing it to the paint.
That was an excellent pass. Unfortunate it didn't go in. Bounce back and forth on both sides.
Pass to the corner from Stepinac, and it's off mark. Ferreira with the ball, turning it over.
I believe they called a travel there, based on that step.
It did look like a travel.
Kids nowadays trying to pull off that Harden move, but high school calls it.
Well, not just a hard move. I think they get a little too carried away, trying to do some nice moves to shake off the defenders, but sometimes it just isn't necessary. Tunneling the ball to Elijah to the corner for a 3. Salesian missing the mark.
He had 5 Salesians there, and luckily they came with the ball.
The last time I saw that many Eagles was in the Declaration of Independence.
To be honest, Dan, I've seen the Declaration of Independence. It's a lot of ink, a lot of great writing in there. Didn't see too many Eagles.
It might be because I read it after I downloaded it from a Bavarian Discord server. However,
I would do it.
I did think there were some Eagles in there. However.
Ooh.
Elijah driving in for a lay, getting blocked by Stepinac. Stepinac going up for a dunk and missing it. I believe a foul was called for hang time.
Tried to dunk it over there. We had that with the freshman game too in the beginning.
Yeah.
Student tried to dunk it to show off a bit.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily show off. I think it's to one, test the waters, and two, if you make a dunk at the beginning of the game, that gives an insane amount of morale, not just to the crowd, but also to your teammates, that if you able to dunk right then and there, what else can you do?
Yeah, it's an intimidation move in high school.
And that's in comparison to the NBA, where it's just sometimes a convenient finish or a little bit of flair to a 2-point.
There's good passing right there. Unfortunate that it was stolen away. Stepinac comes back with the easy layup.
Into the paint, number 14. Ooh, an extremely physical in-air collision right there between
Number 5 got up pretty high and a little nervous that he may have come down on
I don't
on
think
John.
that was that number 5? I believe that was number 14.
It may have been.
I believe it was one of Stepinac's. I think it was Stepinac 23, possibly. I'm really bad with names, so we're going to go off the jersey numbers today, ladies and gentlemen. Salesian missing the free throw. With the offensive rebound. A rip from Stepinac. And Stepinac makes the lay.
Really unfortunate there. He had the double team, and no one was really coming to help, which is frustrating. We saw this the last time we had a JV home game, and it's something they really got to improve on, is they got to come towards the ball. The ball movement today, very, very good, though, to start. Unfortunately, the ball isn't going in. But this is definitely an improvement from early on in the season, as you'd expect.
Eli pulling up for a 3, but just misses the mark.
Not really the type of shot you want being taken by McGee. He's really good under the boards, getting to the basket.
The offensive rebound, speaking of getting to the basket from Stepinac, resulting in a 2-point. And I believe that was a timeout called by Salesian.
Number 5, really big player, going straight up. And good for Salesian not to foul. It's hard to do. You kind of want to in those cases, but they're trying to hang tough under the boards. It's difficult. You may notice that Sebastian isn't out there playing. In the away game, the recent away game, I believe at Regis.
He was injured.
Yeah, so no, at LaSalle Academy is where he was injured. So
Yeah, I was talking to player Bogdan about it. He seemed a bit scared, fearful even that he would have to play more minutes because of the injury, or that they will and are probably going to have him playing. But to that I say, sometimes you just got to take fear, roll it up, and eat it.
I think the only reason Bogdan would say would be, use the word fear, I think it's more nervousness because of coming in on a big game with a team like this, trying to go and get the much-needed points. As G-Man tries to go and put that off the backboard, unfortunately it didn't go in.
It's a contest from Salesian successfully. Stepinac grabbing the offensive board. Stepinac sinking the 3.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. That was such a great move. And just didn't go in. And that was great defense to get the call, McGee. Getting the charge under the basket. Really stinks. You're seeing Salesian taking some great shots. And the ball's just not going down. Can't get their first points on the board in this first quarter.
A nice drive from Eli past the G-Man into the paint. Takes the fader, not quite in. I don't know if that was a shot you want to take, but you know, it's sad to see it miss either way. An open 3 from Stepinac Misses it. The offensive board grab.
Great defense there. Good for the ball to come out. And great to get on there, John. Unfortunately, he rolled.
Stepinac failing to convert it into a point, but a travel call because of the rolling. I guess you could call it a roll, actually. So, that was brought to you by Punt Times by Marty. Stepinac with an air ball.
Seems like it hit the line on the way down.
I do believe it did. I think it actually hit right on the line as it bounced out. Pass to avoid the press from Eli. Double teaming. Pass back to Eli, just barely missing the tip. And a floater not being able to land. Open three from Stepinac, just missing the mark front of the rim.
Yeah, Salesian's letting them take those threes, knowing that they got to go and rebound underneath. Great shot over there.
By Frank the Tank, nice mid-range. I love that that strategy of letting opponents take more threes, knowing that they won't hit it. It's a great example of how the NBA kind of gives and takes from lower levels of basketball, and how strategies from the NBA are used in that manner.
I mean, that's Frank's spot to shoot from the free throw line, and that was a great shot, great setup. Unfortunate there, great move to get underneath and lay that in. Number 30, I believe, for Stepinac.
Pass to G-Man in the paint. A lay a little bit too much force, but also not a good look right there. And around the rim into an offensive board just to make it. 1 minute left on the clock. Let's see how this quarter ends. Open three from Salesian, missing.
Number 4 falls hard under there. I think he slipped. It was a good shot.
That slipping just shows how clean and amazing the Salesian gym floors are. Shout out to our janitors, Francisco and Luis.
I think because of the rain outside, makes it a little tough to go and get your bearings. It's obviously going to make itself known and available within this game, all the slipping.
Pass to the perimeter from Stepinac, sinking the three. Stepinac seeming to just dribble out the clock for the quarter. Maybe not actually. Ending up at the perimeter and sinking another three. And that buzzer concludes the first quarter. Salesian down by 20 with the score being 2-22. I think what the JV team really needs to focus on right now is helping with those two-mans, making some better shot selection, definitely. We saw a lot of questionable takes at the basket and at the perimeter, so I hope they improve that by the time the second quarter starts.
Yeah, it was smart in the beginning to let Stepinac take those open threes and stay underneath. Unfortunately, they've now gotten hot, and along with number 4, there's a couple of others that made threes over there, and they're trying to double team and get back quick, but the movement has to be a lot quicker, and it's going to be a tough matchup, as we said before even the game started.
Stepinac is actually well known for their basketball team being, as my generation says, tough. You know, even comparing to some of the good basketball teams, as they're actually ranked. And on top of that, I've heard that their varsity is very good, which means that has to translate to the lower levels, as we even saw in the freshman game. So we did, in fact, know, and it's wide known, that it was going to be a tough fight.
I mean, Stepinac is known for its athletics, first and foremost, for the most part. Good academics, but I mean, when you hear that name, you think of their sports, and right now they're bringing it. And it seems they got a different squad in. We'll see how Salesian handles them starting for the second quarter.
Good D by Stepinac. The ball bouncing off of Zero into Eli's hands. Another floater. Not quite making the mark, but it goes back into Eli's hands, and again he misses it.
In and out, in and out. That's every shot in this game. If half of those shots go in, this is a different story of the game. It's unfortunate.
All I'm
really,
saying
Salesian's doing a good job. It's just unfair.
Yeah, I think Isaac Newton honestly should have stopped. Maybe we would be better off here. I think that gravity should help a little bit more. Just me.
So they call foul there, a lot of ball, but it's probably mostly the bump. Number 30 will take two.
Throw missing, but going to Stepinac. The tray just hitting off of the rim. Passing back to Eli with an attempt to press. Eli driving a pass to the corner to G-Man, stopping and taking a shot, missing off the backboard.
Hands up, hands up.
Shot taken from Stepinac, airballing into the hands of John. Fun fact, John's brother, Kenny, actually played on the baseball team, so very athletic siblings that we have here.
That'd be Chris, if you're referring to number 25, Paredes.
I would like to apologize for that. I'm actually quite frankly deaf. And with my statement of being deaf, Stepinac actually makes another three. I think they were inspired by the fact I was proud enough to say that I cannot hear.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Chris taking the shot, missing. But yeah, Chris's brother, Kenny, actually played on the baseball team. I can't remember if it was varsity, I believe so. But some very athletic brothers we have. Number 30 on Stepinac, using his size to get around the rim, with a timeout being called.
To be honest, I really feel bad for the Salesian group. They are playing hard. They're playing better than they have the last time we were here, and it's just unfortunate that the shots are not going down. What do you think Coach is telling them, Dan?
What I think Coach is telling him, especially from the way that his hands are moving beside me trying to crack jokes or make a good interpretation, I think he's trying to tell them, put their hands up, get a little bit tighter on defense. I think that the strategy of letting them take those threes in the beginning was working until they got hot, and by the time they realized it was a bit too late. He's probably telling them to stop the momentum, but let's just see what Coach said, if that translates into the game. A drive from Salesian, making the lay. Now, whatever coach said definitely inspired that man right there. His anger just turned his feet into straight wheels, and he finished around the rim nicely. Number 30 off of Stepinac, using his size once again to get around the rim, but we saw some better defense there. We saw a nice switch after an attempted steal. Stepinac's number 30, coincidentally, right after I was talking about him using his size to the rim, actually gets called, I believe that was a foul on him. A lot of contact there.
That last shot was made by Jaden Ori for Salesian.
Yes. See, I know all of these kids, but my brain just doesn't, count names. I count faces. I'm actually a plastic surgeon.
Damn, these are things you got to work on.
I'm trying to work on them, but I'm too busy doing my academics. Speaking of, once again, if you have any missing work, please submit it. Second quarter is going to end as soon as you get back from Christmas break, and I promise you, you do not want to crunch in a week. Do not be me in freshman year.
It's a foul over there on Salesian. We have number 5 trying to get up. No, number 23 trying to get up to make the shot. Apologize about that.
23 missing the first free throw. Missing the free throw again, but a time. No, I was wrong. I believe the foul
didn't hit the
called.
rim, and that's why they're going to take it out of bounds.
Eli taking a sidestep 3, airballing it. The crowd definitely had some reaction to that one. I believe he should have passed it, but I don't know.
Yeah, good steal to make up for that.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. A failed lay from Salesian into another miss. Eventually getting it off the backboard a couple of times.
That was Ori again, getting his rebound 3 times to go put it in, and he's got 4 points leading Salesian.
Whatever coach said is definitely inspiring Ori right now. As we can tell from what he's doing. Eli making the drive.
Avelino over there. Good attempt by Eli. Unfortunately, it didn't go in.
I think not only is Coach's words of inspiration getting to Salesian, but the fact that Stepinac is definitely getting cocky with the lead they have. Right now it's 31-6 with 3 minutes to go in the second. And they've definitely been loosening up. Although their defense has been great, Salesian is taking it as an opportunity to score. 23 has the ball now as he's going towards the Stepinac side.
I think
really
that's
good ball movement over there.
Stepinac's ball movement is great. I think the big issue going on is that Stepinac is just a really good team, generally speaking. And I don't know if Salesian is quite well equipped for this, but I do hope they make the comeback. Eli driving for the lay, making a tough one right there.
And that's his game. He's got to do more of that. Get himself under there and lay it in. He's going to get the foul calls maybe later on.
Especially as a smaller guard, not only just because he's a freshman, but generally speaking, as a smaller guard, layups are supposed to be, or a sophomore actually, I misspoke, I apologize. The freshman game earlier messed my brain up. But especially as a smaller guard, generally speaking, layups are supposed to be your bread and butter on top of the shooting and the handles. You know, you have to be working on those crafty lays, and we just saw an example of that. Stepinac drawing contact, ball rolling off of the rim, and Salesian getting the out-of-bounds ball. 5 on Salesian. Ball handling. Mr. Ori going in for the lay. A little bit too powerful and a little bit too high on the backboard. Stepinac's number 23 going for a reverse lay. And after a couple of bounces on the rim, making it in.
That was a really nice move.
I will say that was pretty smooth. I believe that might have been an out-of-bounds call on Salesian.
No, they're calling a push on number 2 that let him out of bounds.
All right. Sorry, my eyes were too focused on the ball. That's how absolutely locked in I am. Shout out to Mr. Federico.
Did you underline that?
No. But I will box and bold that shot coming from Salesian right there. Who knows? Maybe eventually we'll get to starring and highlighting it, but I think it's a little too early to start underlining things, as this will be a tough comeback. Good ball movement from Stepinac to the perimeter, taking a 3, sinking the ball from outside.
That was a great shot. Nothing you could do there. Great defense. G-Man making that shot before. Now with the ball. And Stepinac enhancing their lead. I mean, they're working hard, Salesian. They're really, really trying. Can't be upset.
Three taken by Salesian. High arc, sinking the tray.
Shot.
You gotta love
That
those
was
shots.
by one of the Jones brothers.
One of the Jonas
Andrew.
brothers.
Andrew.
Andrew Jonas? Wow, I
No,
didn't
not
think
Jonas.
that Nick would have another one.
Not Jonas.
I'm very aware. I just want to, play around a little bit. Overall, great shot, but Stepinac making another. Eli with the drive, the pass. Eli at the perimeter taking a shot and sinking it. I think Salesian's finally starting to, as Mr. Federico says, lock in. And making these shots. I think that they may have messed up the score and gave 3 to Stepinac. Yeah, they did. As you could hear. Now that concludes the first half.
That was a great catch, Dan. Yeah, they added the 3 points accidentally to Stepinac.
I was a bit concerned as to what was going on there. Stepinac's coach was definitely happy to hear that they suddenly got 3 points. But to conclude what we learned from the first half, Salesian is starting to realize they need to tee up. They need to lock down on defense more. I think they're having an excellent D right now, but they need to find a way to work around Stepinac's fantastic ball handling and their playmaking. Stepinac's on fire right now, scores 16 to 42. And Salesian just once again needs to take those better shots and makes. But I think that just about concludes what I have to say.
On the contrary, though, Salesian is definitely finding the rhythm with the 14 points scored in the second quarter. So definitely would like to see that continue. Definitely would like to see the words of coach continue as JV is not stepping on the right step. Maybe this could be a turning point, especially against a big rival like Stepinac. Also noting that Stepinac fans outnumbered Salesian. It's definitely a bleak situation, but I think Salesian's trying to make the best of it.
Well, Gabe, I think part of that is also because of the weather. It is late, and people are worried about the temperature going down. If there's rain out there, maybe some ice, but we should be okay when this game ends. Most of us will probably skedaddle on our way home. But yeah, overall, I mean, a great second quarter to turn this around. It is a tough score to come back from, but we have about 8 minutes, and we're gonna go and take a little break. We'll be back.
Shazam.
I'm at the crib here in our chapel at Salesian High School as we have our Christmas appeal ongoing to establish the Brother Jim Wiegand Fund. Christmas reminds us of God's closeness to us. Brother Jim has spent his life among young people, reminding them of God's closeness to them. I'm excited to announce that through the generosity of donors, we have a $100,000 match campaign going on. They have pledged to match any gift to the Brother Jim Wiegand Fund up to $100,000. So this will double the impact of any gift you make, any donation you make in Brother Jim's honor for the sake of the young. I thank you all for your generosity. I appeal to you for your kindness in his honor, and I wish you all a blessed Christmas and a happy New Year. God bless you.
For more than 100 years, Salesian High School has existed to serve and educate a diverse group of young men. Our commitment to preparing young men for college and meaningful careers will never waver, but the manner in which we accomplish this will change. It's become clear to us over the last several years that basing our curriculum and graduation requirements on the New York State Regents curriculum and exam system is limiting and no longer serves our students. We've heard our students ask for a variety of classes and electives to help them better prepare for college. We've heard parents ask that we offer classes that prepare for life, such as personal finance, wellness and fitness, and other classes to prepare students for the world they will move into after Salesian High School. With this in mind, beginning in 2023, Salesian High School will transition away from New York State Regents exams and replace it instead with an innovative college prep curriculum of our own design. Inspired by Don Bosco's call to use reason, religion, and loving kindness, our faculty has already begun to reimagine a unique Salesian curriculum that will prepare our students to be upright citizens and men of faith. We're excited about this opportunity to continue to serve our students and future students, and we look forward to updating all of our stakeholders as this curriculum evolves and unfolds. Thank you.
What's up, guys? Steve Celestio, Salesian High School Admissions Director. Come on, let's take a tour. Come on, let's check out the rest of the school. We're on on the 3rd floor now. Let's come check out some classrooms in our library. Come on, let's check out the STEM Center on the 4th floor. Welcome to our 4th floor STEM Center, complete with a robotics lab, an engineering lab, and an esports gaming lab. Let's go. This is our esports gaming center. Come on, let's check it out. We're outside the Brother Jim Wiegand Athletic Center here. Inside, the athletes are getting some work done. Come on, let's see what they got. Welcome to the newest addition to our campus, the Casson Commons.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the second half of the Stepinac versus Salesian JV game. As I was going to say beforehand, after I realized that I had talked a bit too much to say it, Salesian is like that really embarrassing memory that you have from middle school. No matter what you do, they always come back in some type of way. No matter what.
Oh, that was a
always
good save.
present.
That was a very good save.
What? I would never trash talk my own school.
I know that, but that was a bit of a juxtaposition over
You know,
there.
I know it started to sound bad.
Full sublimity in the end.
Yeah, I know it started to sound bad. However, comma space, sometimes things start off bad and then they end up really good. Like how I'm hoping this game to go for Salesian. I want us to come back just like that memory from 8th grade where you accidentally took a little too much off your lunch plate and dropped it on the floor. I don't know who that calls out, but you know who you are.
Thanks, Dan. Start of the 3rd quarter. What are we expecting for them to do?
So what I'm expecting for them to do, or what I really want them and need them to do as a Salesian Eagle myself, hoorah, is I need them to tighten up on the defense. They're getting really better at it, but I need them to really lock in and get around Stepinac.
I mean, it's tough. Number 5 and number 23 especially have been really good under the boards. Number 4 has been very good at shooting and getting his hands in there. So they're all here right now in this quarter to start it up. So hopefully they can make some adjustments.
And I completely agree, especially with number 30's big body just being able to get into the paint. But I also want to see them lock in for the shooting aspect. Let's see how they're doing on the defense. Good playmaking by Stepinac. Letting one go loose, a hop step for a lay. That's what I'm talking about right there. Is if the defense would have been a little tighter, the hop step could have been avoided and maybe a different outcome.
Tough to do, though, because you got 2 big men underneath that can put it up. They would rather let them take the shot.
And Salesian sinking the tray.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Absolutely nothing but net. Mr. Ori, Stepinac taking an open corner shot, but missing it. Ori with the board, bouncing it. Behind the back.
This is the energy we need.
This is exactly what I meant by locking in. Eli with a bit of an odd release.
Well, he got hit going up, but I think they got all ball and he was able to push it forward. Unfortunately, it didn't go in. That would have been pretty tremendous. Stepinac pretty stagnant right now. Not moving too much.
Defense really tightening up on Salesian's end. The board tipping off to Salesian. This is what I'm liking to see. Baby, let me see how this works. An unfortunate out of bounds play.
Yeah, and that was unfortunate because his shoe went all the way through, G-Man. And just not fair. Because that was a good attempt to keep the ball in possession.
I could almost hear the Chris Brown as he slid across that floor, just the smooth R&B. But once again, unfortunate.
Good job getting their hands in there. When Salesian has the ball, I think they're going to call that a jump ball. And the possession goes to Salesian, so they're going to get that. Excellent job.
You can really see them getting aggressive right now. Salesian realized that they need to just go straight in and give it all of the all. It's like a limits equation. They will never reach their full potential. They need to keep climbing and climbing and climbing. Avellino with the drive and the lay blocked by Stepinac. Just for a board from Salesian going in from Ori again.
That was a great follow to go and put that up.
You gotta love them working and working and working with what's going on. A tray from Stepinac just off the back of the rim / the backboard. The ball being picked up by Salesian with the drive.
Beating the ball, going up for the layup. Hit too hard again, but
converts
again.
Man, Ori is really popping off right now, as you can see by him getting hyped, streaming, and slapping the Lord out of his coach's hand.
And that's what I like to see. Now it's a 21 lead.
I would like to reflect how hard that slap was after Coach looked at his hand in reflection, thinking, what type of monster did I just create with that speech? And I can say that he is my Godzilla.
Crazy that Salesian just held in the first 3 minutes. Stepinac to 2 points, so this is what we need. Imagine if they did this for both quarters. You could have a real game on your hands.
A really intense game. I mean, even if we don't win, which I am hoping we do, but even if we don't, just the intenseness and the ferocity coming from Salesian to even come back. Most teams would be discouraged by such a deficit, but Salesian manages to save themselves from losing their heads and excelling up to what they need to be.
Yeah, good job getting their hands in there for the rebounds, for Stepinac trying to get those offensive rebounds. They've been knocking it out of their hands and getting that possession, leading them to the fast breaks down below. So we'll see if they're able to keep this up.
Especially with Salesian's famed play style of fast breaks working. You can see Ori on his toes. The drive from Stepinac into a nice pass. Driving into the paint, the block from Frank the Tank.
Coach talking through the defense, and really good to get their hands in there.
Oh my!
And making some moves, G-Man over here. Passing it out. Here's the three. Oh, unfortunate.
Lord,
if they only had someone just a little bit farther out to get that rebound.
Stepinac missing the lay, but it tips in. I was going to say, Lord have mercy with those handles coming in from just beyond the line.
Nice shot by Frank. Unfortunate it didn't go in. Like the decision making here.
Stepinac putting it back.
What else can you do? I mean, bigger man getting over and putting it back up, doing the best you can.
The handles from Ori into a steal, pressing him. Man, Stepinac really getting hungry for the ball, making sure they keep Salesian in deficit, especially with the full court two-man presses.
As quick as they just scored all those points, everything just turned around with those turnovers. Really unfortunate.
You
Coach
can see
is
Coach
trying to
talking about the dribbling. As you can see with his hand movements, probably telling them to keep the dribbling light, or not just keep it light, but be more precise and a bit quicker with those moves so that you don't end up getting locked up or ripped.
Yeah, there were some really bright moments there that unfortunately did not fully come to fruition. But Eli McGee trying to take that shot from 3 on the side. And Frank trying to take that too, but they'll start out of bounds and see if they can get that rhythm back again.
You can see the entirety of Stepinac pressing them full court. Pass to Frank to tank back to Eli to G-Man, taking the shot from beyond the arc and just missing the mark. Stepinac slowing the game down a little bit. Number 30 using his big body for a screen. Number 30 also simultaneously missing the pass. Stepinac missing the 3, knocking just off the front of the rim. Another press from Stepinac for the ball. Driving from corner, putting 30 in, failing to put back. I mean, you can see even though they're up, Stepinac is still hungry for more and more points with these full court presses and intense two-mans.
You could see earlier there with the press. Not enough people coming in, and they're just standing there waiting for the ball to come to them. Just like in soccer, you got to go towards the ball. You can't go and get it. You can't just wait for it to come to you.
Exactly. You can't expect the pass while your main ball handler is getting attacked by 2 men. You have to get up there, and you have to make sure that you're either making it easier or you're making it a bit questionable for the defense to be like, should I really be full pressing this? As they press it again, same issue happening, but luckily the ball able to get into Eli's hands. A lot of contact there from number 0.
And they're going to call the block.
Out of bounds call after he goes a little bit out from catching the ball and stuttering back. Fun fact, did you know the word stutterer is actually a form of a stutter? Learned that from Mr. Dwyer's class. Thank you very much.
No.
Sorry there. We had a little mic malfunction. Salesian with a hard drive. An attempted pass to Frank only to be turned into a turnover. Pass from Stepinac into the mid-range, making the jumper.
Being up 33 and doing the press, as you guys know from me, I'm not a fan of that choice.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have all your bench playing. It's
I'd
not in the best of taste.
I'd have to agree. I don't really see a reason to do that while up by at least 20-15. You know, I don't think there's really a reason to be full court pressing at this point, but what can we say? It is what it is. It's not our job to dictate the rules of basketball.
Dream Man makes the first free throw. In and out with the second.
Stepinac not wanting to slow the game down anymore. Full court pass into a trade, but they just can't knock it down. Ori attempting with the handles, but it's a turnover after losing the ball, and Stepinac scores with a layup.
I think that was more of a bump than a hit.
It was
They got
definitely
away
a bump
with it.
steal, but it is what it is. And a travel call, as we can see from G-Man rolling his hands to make sure that the ref knows that it was a travel. Definitely passionate about his, you know, game rules.
Yeah, it looked like they were dancing there for a second. Not on the same page. Unfortunate. Avellino made the move and then went back, and McGee thought he was going to get there. Stay in the same direction.
A press from Salesian to get the ball to Eli. Let's see if the lay converts. And it goes up. It doesn't hit. Corner three taken from Stepinac. Bouncing off the rim out of bounds. About that lay from Salesian, I don't know why that was a move that was taken. I definitely think there were better, you know, options there, but nothing much more to say than that. A pass back from Eli. Shot taken from Ori. Shooting it. I mean, while Salesian in general isn't doing too hot, Ori seems to be keeping his cool and making these shots.
Oh, great
Ori with
steal
the
there
steal.
by McGee, and Ori taking it.
Passes it.
Tried to go up, and he got fouled. Ooh, that looks pretty tough. He landed on his ankle.
This reminds me of last year, where I'm pretty sure it was Ori as well, who played on the freshman team. And I was there watching one of the games before I was in sports broadcasting and commentating. And he took a pretty hard injury there, but luckily it doesn't seem to be like one of those moments.
No, he just a rolling of the ankle, so thank goodness. You always get nervous.
Everybody hates when you roll your ankle. That little feeling when you actually take that misstep happened to me while I was shadowboxing in Mr. Dwyer's room. Worst feeling of my life. I was fighting the ghosts in my head, and then suddenly my body was fighting me.
Dan, I think you've been announcing for far too long today.
Possibly. I think I'm starting to see sounds.
Well, at least it shows that your improv and creative writing skills are working wonderful in this time, broadcasting this game.
Speaking of improv and creative writing skills, are you a sophomore thinking about what elective you're going to take next year? Choose creative writing. Pretty good class. An attempt to steal from Salesian. D being played.
So I think they called the foul on the floor before he went up.
It definitely looked like that. I think what had happened was his arm had went down and hit him before he had gone up. Coach screaming at Frank to protect the mouth. Stepinac passing to the corner, missing the tray again. The drive from Salesian into...
That was a great move. I think that counted.
I think it did
And
count.
they
It
did.
was
They
just
said it
before.
counted.
That was a bit of an odd
Wow, what
lay.
I don't know if he was trying to go up or passing. I hope it was a pass, because if it was, that was...
It was a
probably
pass. What do you mean? We don't know. It was most definitely a pass, for argument's sake.
Yeah, well, Salesian down 28. Trying to go back and forth within this game, stay consistent. It's tough. They had a little bit of a comeback there, beginning of the third. In the later half, Stepinac went and put on their own run, and it's kind of stayed back and forth since.
Yeah, I think Salesians definitely had their moment in the beginning of the third, but their deficit isn't seeming to get any better. If anything, it's getting worse, and that's a bit concerning, but hopefully they somehow manage to come back in the fourth, although it will be extremely tough to do so. As we can hear, there's a child in the crowd.
It's okay, I think she just saw the score.
Oh, wow. That's quite a ridiculous quote, Mr. Dwyer.
She was just a little upset. Her team wasn't winning.
Wow. Well, I mean, we don't even know if that's a Salesian child. But hopefully when, I cannot tell if that is a boy or a girl. But I hope...
It's a young girl.
Oh, that's a young girl, thank you. I'm quite blind and deaf. But hopefully that young lady grows up to be a person of great stature. Stepinac taking the shot, missing it from mid-range. Number 30 using his physical prowess once again to just grab the board and put it back.
Yeah, I mean, Salesian was good there, getting their hands in there. But it's tough trying to get a rebound from someone with that stature. And now they come down and they get the foul call, G-Man. John Manuel Ferreira, that's who G-Man is.
I don't know where the name G-Man came from. Maybe it came from the underclassmen. But I will say it was a pretty good nickname. And he sinks the second free throw. Stepinac showing off their great ball handling again, taking the tray, missing it.
Good rebound by Salesian, taking it down. Good by McGee. Down to G-Man. Oh, not sure what they called here. Oh, jump ball. I'll take it. That looked more like a block.
I think what had happened was, I think he had tried to slap it, got a little bit of hand, and then maybe try to grab it. I'm not sure. From up here, the view might be nice, but it is not perfect.
Good pass there.
Ori taking the fader,
Yeah.
just in between the rim and the backboard, bouncing off. Stepinac taking a deep three. That's one of those shots you only take when you're up. Salesian taking the pull-up three off of the rim. G-Man attempting to stop number 30.
And you kind of expected that call.
That's one of those calls where you know it's going to happen, but you're just hoping out a little bit that it doesn't. number 30 missing the first one. And number 30 missing both free throws from the line. Dwyer rushing in for the lay, but heavily contested and can't make it. Ball lost by Stepinac. Passing to McGee in the corner, who drives for the lay, doesn't make it. Salesian grabbing the offensive boarding, not making the putback. Stepinac finally grabbing a hold of the ball, driving, making the layup.
Seems that the refs are letting him play. There's a lot of hits to the face and the arms, but when you're up 32, I think with the weather, probably taking all that into consideration.
The layup from Salesian not converting. Stepinac taking the tray off of the backboard and missing, but grabbing it and putting it back.
Looks like coach is getting ready to put the bench in. And we may see a timeout soon for this.
G-Man going up for the lay, but sadly not being able to make it.
With the foul, no need for the timeout.
J-Man missing the first one. Coach swapping out players with the bench.
Unfortunate in and out there.
We've been seeing a lot of in and outs tonight. I don't know what's causing it, but gravity is definitely not liking anybody today. Speaking of gravity, are you passing your physics test? Are you passing your classes? Please see Miss Piazza if you're not. However, Stepinac making the second free throw attempt, with coach now fully putting the bench in. Players we're seeing coming off right now are Bogdan, the legend himself, Chris, the legend himself, part 2.
Justin Skirbo at the top.
Stepinac making the layup once again.
We got both Jones brothers in, Andrew and Chris. Justin loses the ball. Bogdan chasing behind.
Stepinac taking another tray, missing it from the corner. Stepinac's taking a lot of corner threes and missing it, which I think they had the they're able to afford missing those threes, but it's a bit odd seeing them take that many.
Well, when you're up this much, Dan, it's
about 3 minutes till the end of the quarter. It
it's
doesn't
fine
really
that
matter.
they're taking as many as they do. You know, take the free shot.
This is one of those games where you can kind of already call it.
Yeah, but at least for the most part, Stepinac's bench is in, and
At least they're getting practice.
trying to get those minutes in and get some game time practice.
And in an attempt to get a handoff, the ball goes out of bounds. Stepinac pressing the offense, grabbing the ball and converting it. Bit of contact from Stepinac, and that's going to be called a foul.
So tomorrow's Friday, Dan. What are you anticipating? What are you looking forward to besides the weekend?
Now, besides the weekend, and no, I'm not talking about the famous musician Abel. Tomorrow, recently, my friend Jana had texted me asking me if I was going to school. Now, of course, as a good scholarly student of Don Bosco, I said yes. I can't skip days. I can't miss them. But unfortunately, that...
I'm sure she was asking because of the snow.
Well, yeah. Because she actually goes to Purchase College. Shout out to her. Asking probably because of the snow, but also because me, her, and our friend Leah were all, yearning to hang out with each other once more as friends. Ever since Godspell, we haven't really been talking to each other or seeing each other that much because, college and life getting in the way of things. And she was asking because her and Leah actually had game night tomorrow, which is something that our friend group has from time to time that I was able to attend a couple of times. Gracias a Dios. But, I'm not able to do it, which makes me a bit sad. But Friday, I'm looking forward to play The Witcher 3, which just got a PS5 update for our gamers tuning into the basketball game right now. So I'm looking forward to play that tonight and tomorrow. Also, the sleep. Gotta love the sleep, man. Those little naps after school where you come home and are not sure whether you're in America or Spain or whether you're even on the earth in the first place. But the sleep, the games, a little bit of tranquility, and my dog. What about you, Mr. Dwyer? Well, what does your Friday look like besides being a teacher?
Well, one, I want to say I'm very happy you're still hanging out with alumni of the Salesian players. Members that graduated, the girls that took part in that fantastic play last year. Yeah, I don't know. This weekend is it's going to be busy. The sales honors program boys are going to go to the opera.
Oh.
So we're not sure exactly which opera it is. I have to do the research tonight. But I'm going to try to go and do a little lesson before we go and experience that. And yeah, try to get some sleep myself, though. Being a teacher at Salesian, it's kind of tough to find those moments.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Even though I'm not a teacher, quite obviously, I do get that sleep would be important. And with that being said, a hard foul getting put onto Salesian. Number 10, I believe that's one of the Jones brothers. But once again, I wouldn't know. My job with names is actually just as bad as, I don't have a comparison. It's just as bad as me coming up with comparisons. Salesian making the free throw.
Andrew making both of those. Yeah, Andrew making both those free throws. That's great.
So are there any games that you're getting into recently besides God of War?
Well, I'm hoping to play that over the break, but as of recent, not really. I haven't really had the time, unfortunately. My brother did go and visit recently, and over the weekend, we did pull out an old classic, the NFL 2K5 with Terrell Owens on the cover, and we made a season and played that. I always found that was one of the best football games ever created. So much history and lore behind that game, and yeah, we created a season, had some interesting players on there, and it was a lot of fun. We actually played as the Green Bay Packers, and the joke was that when you play in Green Bay, it always rains or snows, and truthfully, in our season, it's exactly what happened. The first 3 games were rain, and the last 3 games were snow, and it affected them terribly. We're in the playoffs, and hopefully at some point when I have a break, we'll go and see if we get through. 11-1 was our record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, doing pretty good.
That reminds me of me and my brother, who had not pretty recently, but recently enough, actually acquired NBA 2K23, and this was inspired by one of his bouts coming home late, downloading 2K15, and in quotations, I would like to say, he said he would absolutely destroy me on the court, just like last year. Now, this is a reference to me playing basketball with him last year and taking an absolute L. But quite frankly, I'm proud to proclaim that the score is 2-2 between me and him in terms of games. It would be 3-1, but I did let him make an open shot with KD, and suddenly he, by the graces of God Almighty, learned how to shoot, which scares me.
With 20 seconds left, the press has made itself available, and Salesian has gotten tired and let them score. And understandable with a 74-33. With a 74-33 score to conclude, Stepinac has defeated the Salesian JV. Tough matchup to watch, obviously, but as we know going into it, Stepinac is a really good team, and we had our moments going back and forth where it was competitive, but in the end, fourth quarter, let the bench play, got to see them a little bit. There was some good movement, and got to take this as a learning curve for this team.
Maybe this will inspire some bouts from coach to give them a bit of a lesson on increasing their defensive capabilities, as well as taking those better shot selections. Maybe they'll have film, most likely. I know even though I myself am not somebody that participates in any physical sports at the moment, I know that athletes after a hard loss and a really tough defeat go over film, because my friends, believe it or not, I do have them. Go over film after they lose a game, so hopefully that's something that happens, and hopefully their practice helps them excel.
With that, our next game will be on Monday with the freshmen playing at home, and we'll be broadcasting it live as always on YouTube. Hopefully you'll be there to join us. So hopefully you have a good weekend, safe trip home for everyone here. Enjoy your home experience at home watching us. And we thank you all who stayed to watch, and we'll see you on Monday.
Take care, brush your hair, Shazam.